I don't really know how you can do better than you did in 2015. The most transformative year that JTA has ever had since it's been providing transit. I mean, truly a transformative year. I mean, what have you learned from that?
Few things. One thing is that the team of individuals we have here at the JTA are, I think, best in class. I think they're very dedicated. They work well together, and they like challenges. They like solving problems. And so it's been an exciting year because we've got a great team of folks here. We have a good vision. We have a really strong vision in terms of the JTA and improving the quality of life here in Jacksonville and Northeast Florida. I guess this past year is just emblematic of that success, and we're just very excited. We're very happy and proud with our performance in this past year.
Well, you certainly should be. I think you've won every award out there that could possibly be won. At the end of the day, this is always about the customer.
That's right, and so we get a chance to see almost every day the impact that we have on the citizens of this community, helping them get to work, helping them get to the doctor, helping them go to entertainment complexes and enjoy themselves. It's really a great time for us.
Well, and I think if you're really trying to get people's attention in a system that some may have said was sort of stuck in a certain place for a while,
yes,
it's great to get some of those things accomplished quickly. And I remember I was so surprised to read that you actually had a situation where I guess there was some sort of recruiting firm that someone was told, if you put down JTA as your transportation to work, you're not going to get hired, and you sort of took that as a personal challenge.
I did. I did, along with the executives and managers and the rest of the JTA family. We took that on as a personal challenge, and I recall, as I was going around and meeting a lot of the staff here at the JTA, I repeated that story and shared that with them. And I think for all of us, it was an eye-opener in terms of being portrayed as a barrier to someone being able to get a job and be gainfully employed and support their family and things of that nature. And so I think we all took that personally, and it's a story that I've shared numerous times with our team, and I think it continues to inspire us from where we were at that point about 3 years ago to where we are today, and being seen as now one of the best-in-class public transportation agencies in this nation. And so it's real for us.
Remind people about really what brought us from that. The route optimization was a big deal, and it really helped you to give people the confidence that these routes are going to run on time, or as close to on time as you can reasonably expect.
Exactly. I mean, that was a major gamble in terms of the route optimization, because it's the reason things like that are not done, because it's so risky and so challenging to take a system, in our case, that has been in place 30 years. A lot of our riders grew up on that system from being a little child to an adult, and so they're very familiar with the way that the system operates, even if it's not on time and it's inefficient. And I think, unfortunately, a lot of our riders had come to accept that quality of service. But that wasn't good enough for us, and we took the challenge on to improve that system. So totally revamping the bus stops, the routes, increasing the frequency of service, expanding the hours of service, so we better matched up with not the workforce of years past, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, but almost a workforce that works 7 days a week, late into the evenings, on Saturdays, on Sundays. And so when we took that challenge on, and I think the hard work of educating our riders, educating the elected officials, working with our board of directors, getting their confidence and the elected officials' confidence to move forward with such a major, dramatic change, we're just so ecstatic about it. I mean, ridership is up 6% over last year. We've gotten, like you mentioned earlier, we've gotten some national awards, local awards, because one, the courage we had to do this.
Well, I think so many companies could take a page from the way that you did this, because it's so important if you're going to make a change that big, and you're really going to change hearts and minds, about the system, to really educate. And by that, I mean, you really took your time having these community meetings, making sure people had time to give their input.
Yes, that was critical. Our riders, obviously, our customers on a daily basis, the stakeholders, everyone from the religious community who clearly are leaders in our community, the elected officials, business leaders, both large businesses, small business, the medical facilities, the hospitals, et cetera, the universities. We made sure that we got everyone under our tent, explained to them why this change was necessary, tried to really explain to them how dramatic a change it was going to be, but built some trust. And I think, what's interesting now, it is not being seen as just a revitalization or modernization of the JTA. It's being touted as a change process that any corporation may benefit from. And it's my understanding that Flagler College down in St. Augustine is using our business case to teach public policy students on how to affect change in communities. So it has created a culture of champions and winning here at the JTA. We feel that if there's a challenge out there that's transportation related, and maybe beyond that, we can take it on and we can be very successful at it.
Another huge change this year has been the arrival of the compressed natural gas buses. Talk about CNG and why that's such a big deal for the JTA.
I'll tell you, timing is everything. We were in the process of developing and building out the First Coast Flyer bus rapid transit system, which is our premium service and will be expanded to 57 miles of bus rapid transit in our network. We thought it was the appropriate time to make a modification and a change in technology, to go away from the clean diesel buses we run at this point, to look at compressed natural gas buses. So while we were doing ROI, we were also building First Coast Flyer, we needed to make that decision in terms of a transition in terms of our bus fleet and that technology. So right now we're running 22 compressed natural gas buses, 11 of them dedicated to First Coast Flyer. The remaining buses are going to be expanded throughout our entire bus fleet. But this is a 5-year program, 100 buses that will be converted to compressed natural gas.
Talk about the Flyer service, because that's a pretty exciting thing.
Right, so the North Line is the first of 4 lines that we're building for bus rapid transit here in Jacksonville. We will be next building the Southeast Line, followed by the East and the Southwest Line, giving us 57 miles of bus rapid transit. The buses are new technology, compressed natural gas buses. We have real-time passenger information at each of the bus stops along First Coast Flyer, uniquely branded with that First Coast Flyer logo. So it'll be easy for people to know where these buses are starting their trip and where they're ending their trip. And then Wi-Fi, so you're able to get on the bus and be very productive by using free Wi-Fi on these buses. We eventually plan to expand that to the entire system, but we wanted to start it out with the First Coast Flyer, and again, another transportation improvement for our community in helping people get to their destinations faster, quicker, more direct.
But we kicked off JTA Mobility Works in 2015 with some major projects still to come.
That's right.
Talk a little bit about what's to come with that and how unusual it is for a transportation company to really be involved in all this road building in addition to transportation.
Yes. So interestingly enough, our pedigree came out of the Jacksonville Expressway Authority, and we then assumed the public transportation elements, the bus operation, in the 70s. So our background has been in road building. We did a lot under the Better Jacksonville plan, and that had waned for the JTA. The economy had a lot to do with that. And now with the extension of the gas tax, Mobility Works is up and running. We've got a few projects under construction right now. Gervin Road expansion, Sutel Transit Hub is being built. And then we have Mobility Works, which were a set of corridor improvements where we were getting in and doing sort of storefront to storefront or doorway to doorway improvements, where we would come in and do a sidewalk improvement. We'll do a bike lane. We'll also do the transit component in terms of the bus stops and bus shelters, as well as roadway resurfacing. So sort of a A to Z, top to bottom kind of overhaul of corridors, and that work is well underway. So we're really excited about Mobility Works' 5-year program. Challenge is, some of these projects were pretty dated. They date back almost 10 years in some cases, and so we're finding some challenges in terms of, just again, as time goes by, the cost of materials, the cost of engineering and design work and things of that nature. So we have our budget. We're going to try and stay within that budget in terms of delivering these projects. But we've solved other challenges. We'll find a way to solve these challenges also.
I think one of the most exciting projects coming up is the design competition for the new transit facility in La Villa. Talk about that.
Yeah, so as part of the Regional Transportation Center program, we've already awarded the construction manager contract that's going to Balfour Beatty, so they will be doing the construction management. But then there's the design of this facility that will be here for the next 50 to 60 years, the Regional Transportation Center itself. And so we plan to have a design competition where we will have different designers present their vision of what this regional transportation center needs to look like. And through that design competition and our budget, staying within budget, we'll make a decision on what should be an iconic regional transportation center for this city and the doorway, the gateway into this city. And we're very, very proud of having this opportunity to work on a legacy project.
It's fun to listen to you talk about these things because it's so obvious to anybody that listens to you talk that you truly enjoy the challenge of all this. I mean, you have run much larger transportation systems, but this transportation system really had some very unique challenges, but you seem to really enjoy it.
Oh, I'm thoroughly enjoying my time here in Jacksonville and being at the helm of this organization. I got a great team of people that I work with every day, and I love this community. And these are, again, at this juncture, these are projects that are really impacting the quality of life here for our citizens, and I'm just honored to be a part of it. And so it's exciting time, and I'm challenged every morning, and I am excited about getting up every morning and getting back at these opportunities.
Well, we hope you'll be with us in Jacksonville for a long time. Nat Ford,
I
thank
plan
you
to.
very, very much.